strip, yeah, I know she can't hold it. Yelling on your bitch, even though she got COVID.
Welcome to Show Face News. You can call me what you want. Just don't call me woke. Make sure you subscribe right now. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. You dig? We back with another one. I know it feels like forever. I only went one day. One day. We out making a live, man. Salute to YouTube. YouTube is great. YouTube is amazing. Subscribe to the channel. AMG. What's popping? Hey, yo, we back to regular scheduled programming. Jay Prince says that Joe Rogan is not a racist. Jay Prince says that Joe Rogan is not a racist. Let's read this, shall we? Jay Prince said Joe Rogan is not a racist. I know this, brother. It takes a sincere individual to admit when they are wrong and have effed up about a situation. As you can hear, he's done that. And I forgive him because I never wanted to become one of those people that are filled with unforgiveness and hate that we complain about all the time. Let this be an example to others of the sensitivity of the word nigga being said by anybody other than a nigga. The art of science and respect. He tagged Joe Rogan. All right. Now, people feel some type of way about this. People feel some type of way about this. I'm not mad at it. For certain reasons, I'm not super duper mad at it. Make sure y'all smash the like button and subscribe, though, man. I'm not super mad at it. Salute to Phenomenon, by the way. I'm not mad at it, even though I might disagree, but not mad. You dig? Now, people are going to be angry and etc. Listen, here's the thing. Just because everyone uses the word doesn't necessarily mean that they're racist. But I have never watched the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm not going to hold y'all. I've never watched the Joe Rogan podcast. I've never been interested in watching it. I've never experienced any type of podcast that involved Joe Rogan. So I can't speak. You dig? So I don't know. However, this is a wild situation though. You dig? Let me exit out and come right back in because there's a video that has to be played apparently because he did issue an apology.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction. Or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody or just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic. But a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say, there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, holy shit, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes over 12 years. I've said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said, we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say. And I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And I certainly would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism. My hope is that, look, I can't go back in time and change what I've said. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. But I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth, in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies. I wish there was more that I could say, but all of this is just me talking from the bottom of my heart. It makes me sick watching that video, but hopefully at least some of you will accept this and understand where I'm coming from. My apologies and much love. My sincere, deepest apologies and much love.
All right, y'all. There was the apology, you feel me? Now, look, I'm going to say this, right? Remember, me personally, I don't even watch Joe Rogan's podcast. You dig? I don't watch Joe Rogan's podcast. I don't know Joe Rogan to be a racist. However, there are extremist people who even know he doesn't mean it or have said it in a racist undertone. They're going to make it seem as though that, hey, it don't matter. Look at how he looks and he said it anyway, and etc. Like, if we keep it in 100, you can't tell nobody how to opinionate themselves. You dig? You might not like him the way somebody opinionates or says things. You can't tell nobody how to say things. You feel me? You just can't do that. That's what I'm saying. You dig? That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Yeah, this was definitely a good apology. If you know, definitely a good apology. Shalama says might not be racist. Definitely showed how he views people that don't look like him. And Snoopy says, should we care whoever said the word at this point? It's up to the individual. I'm not somebody who trips about nigga being sad. Unless, here's the thing. If you have a malicious intent on saying it, if you feel the word or think the word is something derogatory, then why say it anyway? Is what I'm saying. I don't like to get caught up in the colorism side of things because colorism is terrible. You feel me? I don't really dive into that narrative or that type of mindset. You dig? But if you ain't been saying it, why say it now? You dig? And he hasn't said it any time recent. He says that he used it to describe a situation. You dig? Now, again, this is all based upon what level you're at as far as just thinking in general. You know, because somebody could say, hey, it don't matter because he's still born this way and that way, and that's still having a colorist mindset, because a colorist could even be somebody that's against a so-called person that's a white supremacist. You could still be colorist and be a reverse racist, because that actually exists. You know what I'm saying? There are people who generally hate the other person for their color in general, whether it's dark or light, which is weird and a messed up mindset to have. You feel me? But to be honest, I mean, I'm not too concerned at who says it. However, I think the intent behind it being said can be done in malicious fashion. However, it's projected. That's how I'm looking at it. If it's projected in a certain light, then yeah, you know it's bad. That's how I'm looking at it, though. You feel me? But I really don't know Joe Rogan, but the apology seems sincere. If he didn't mean no harm by the word, I don't see a reason to even apologize. It seems as though people are trying to blackball and cancel him. You know, that's definitely because if they doing a compilation video of the times he said it just to be petty, then that's malicious intent. That means someone is trying to cancel him. Some group is trying to cancel him for whatever reason that may be. I heard people in the chat saying that he against the poke up. You know what I'm saying? Was he against the poke up? You know what I'm talking about. You know, I can't say the word. You feel me? Was he against that? Because I'm sure y'all know more than me, because I do not watch or keep up with Joe Rogan. I'm gonna keep it 100% honest with y'all. The only time I seen Joe Rogan was in Fear Factor. You feel me? Snoop said check out his show whenever you get a chance. Show. I'm gonna look at it. Prayed Up says, y'all gotta bring the video of C-Mac getting jumped. Took it like a G. I mean, if you got the video, if the video ain't already out, I will review it. We got time today. We got a lot of time, man. I got something in the works coming soon, champs. Stay tuned. You feel me? AMG says the media wants him gone because one of his podcasts streamed to 9 million at once. That's more than all the major news outlets combined, including CNN and Fox. AMG, I do remember you saying this. AMG. You dig? So that makes sense. They're trying to blacklist him because they are angry at his influence. They mad that he's bringing in higher numbers than huge media outlets on his own muscle. So he's getting more of an audience, bigger than the big major mainstream companies. So all of the mainstream companies are being outshined by Joe Rogan's podcast. So therefore, you know, they're trying to knock him off. They trying to knock Joe Rogan off because he's bringing in more traffic than all of these media outlets, which should also be a sign to let you guys know that TV is dying. TV is falling off, man. If all the mainstream media outlets are being outshined by one individual, then that should tell you that we are moving and shifting into a new thing. There's bigger things than mainstream media, is what that means. You dig? You feel me? AMG says they want to control the poke narrative. Absolutely. And he's a bigger influence than they are at this point, so they have to try to knock him off. T-Bull says, I'm in the chat, just can't text because I'm on my way to the mall. I'm listening. Salute to T-Bull in the building. Exactly. TV's not the wave anymore. TV is dying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If this one person is having a heavier impact than the media is falling off, then that means we're going through some changes. You dig? That means we're going through some changes. And look, if C-Mac got jumped, which I'm sure he did, I will be looking into the C-Mac footage and going to play-by-play, depending on how old it is. I'll let y'all know. Josh said he hasn't had cable in 5 years. I haven't had cable since 2017. So yeah, 5 years sounds about right for me personally because I don't watch cable at all. You dig? But yeah, if he has such a presence to where he can literally get way more traffic than multiple media sources at once, then he literally has a whole network on his hands, man. He's killing the game. That's what this means. This means that Joe Rogan is killing the game, and then the media is trying to stop it by demonizing his name and putting his name in a false light as being a racist. You dig? So they're trying to play off the BLM agenda and all that. They're trying to play off that narrative and play off that agenda. That's what it looks like right now. I'm just saying. But other people may feel different. Like I said, you have people who have extremist viewpoints. People have viewpoints that are very extreme and they only have like a one-track mind and they don't see nothing wrong with an extreme viewpoint, even if it doesn't make logical sense. You dig? So there's that. However, listen, if the man ain't been saying it and he used it in the past to describe a situation, so what? He clearly wasn't being racist. He ain't have to explain himself. If you know the word or you are using the word in a non-malicious way, then there should be no reason for you to even say, you racist in between, after, or before the story. You dig? That's what I'm saying. But it's quite clear what's going on here. They're trying to shun or cancel Joe Rogan based upon his influence and how much traffic he's bringing. So it's definitely on some, y'all killing the money. You know what I'm saying? Basically on some, he's killing our money and we need to stop him now. You dig? Freedom says 5 years getting out the pen. They got Wi-Fi in prison. I am not getting out of prison. I chose not to watch cable since 2017. I have nothing to watch on cable. Everything is online right now. So that's my reason. I have never been locked up or in prison. So we thankful for that. Thankful for living almost 30 years and never having to go behind bars, go in a cell. So no, I was not locked up anywhere. There's definitely Wi-Fi in prison. That's a fact. Prison definitely has Wi-Fi. People using phones in prison, and yes, prison has Wi-Fi. Clearly, it gotta have it. They got it now, man. New time. You dig? But yeah. Hey, prayed up. I prayed up. I also haven't had cable since 2017 as well though. So 5 years is me as well. I don't watch cable. I never really watched cable. So there's that. But yeah, y'all. What we watching right now, what we seeing right now is that cable is dead. They're gonna have to switch it up. We see all of these big networks creating their own little apps. You know what I'm saying? A lot of apps. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of apps with programs on it. So you're gonna see a lot of corporations slowly but surely. All of these corporations are gonna have their own apps to back up on because you could damn near watch anything anywhere else outside of cable. Yeah, basically you can watch anything on YouTube almost, and other free streaming sites around the World Wide Web. There's plenty of free streaming sites on the web that you can use to watch damn near anything on Netflix and etc. So you don't even have to really buy any apps to begin with. You don't really have to buy any apps because there's so much that they have already online that's available. So if you got all this stuff available online for free, why in the world would you be trying to buy an app that costs you damn near 15 a month when you can save up? Prayed up said, my boy FaceTime from prison. I watch Bunny Ears TV like 8 channels. What? I guess I know what you mean. But yeah, man. So we see exactly what's going on with I said Seth, with the Joe Rogan situation. You dig? We see what's going on. Jay Prince spoke his piece. Jay Prince says that he salutes and is defending Joe Rogan because this is some asinine behavior. So I'm in agreement with Jay Prince as well. This is a huge misunderstanding and a confusion by the media because they feel as though that Joe Rogan is killing the game too much and it's doing damage to their network ratings. Apparently, you dig? But salute to the chat, by the way, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. Make sure you smash that like button if you're just tuning in, or if you're on your way out. You can also subscribe. Please subscribe to Show Face News. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Clyde the Beast. You dig? We got a lot more content on the way. Smash that like button once again and hit the subscribe button if you're new. This is Show Face News, and I'm out. Peace.